Welcome to another episode of Bickering Nerds, and I am Brad, and I am joined by Mike and Fuzzin, and we are a bunch of nerds, and we love Marvel, and we've been waiting to talk about Marvel, and what better way to talk about Marvel than to also play a little bit of Marvel Rivals, since this is the hot game of the minute that's coming out, and very close to Overwatch. We have Fuzzin on the controller today as we watch him play as the Luna Snow. It looks like he has up on his screen right now.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Are you gonna play as Luna?
I might. She's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's really good.
So yeah,
Go ahead and start.
Yeah.
And one of the good things about this game is the queue times are insanely low.
right.
Like right there, 3 seconds to find a game on competitive. Quick match is even less time.
3 seconds is actually pretty long.
That's right.
Yeah. I remember there was a time where it basically was near instant, but it has since come down a little bit, but it's still pretty fast. Considering people complain about queue times of like 17 minutes on Overwatch,
Oh my god.
I'll take 3 seconds.
17 minutes? Jeez. I think that's with the roll queue though too. They have that.
Yeah, that's with
forced.
the competitive roll queue.
So if you want to do DPS,
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Think of it like old school World of Warcraft things where you would queue up for your dungeons and you would say, "I'm a DPS." You're waiting like 45 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's because
yeah, but at least you could do other stuff.
that's true. That is definitely
Overwatch, I think you're stuck in a menu, right?
true. Yeah. You're
Pretty much, yeah.
well. That's what your phone's for. So you can sit there and look
With
at
this, with this in competitive, you're just stuck with playing tank and healer.
Not really. It depends on like how it goes,
Mm-hmm.
but especially when you start hitting like gold ranks and everything in this game, you'll always find healers are the first things picked. Like people will always grab the
See,
support.
this is what my experience is. I always get people playing DPS.
Yeah.
I play Luna Snow. Like
There
people
you
always
go.
play DPS, like even in Gold 3. I don't know. Maybe it's different from Gold 1. I want to get there.
Yeah,
I wanna get
it's
there.
a bit different once you get up there because, well, just going off some of the characters that are in this, you have the classes of tanks, which are called vanguards in this game. And
Yeah,
with
this
that
is
you
my
have-
typical team composition for me.
Yeah, I think ideally you want to have 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 healers, but it's one of those debated things on how people feel about the game. Sometimes people are like, no, 1 tank, 3 DPS is the better move. I'd still argue that Penny really isn't a tank character. She's more DPS than tank. So
Yeah. 2 tank. Oh great, he's running back. 2 tank is ideal.
Yeah, she just kind of laid the spider nest down, which is actually one of her like primary things is putting down that spider nest and making it so that does all the work for her. But on the tank side, you also have like Captain America, makes sense. Doctor Strange, which is an odd choice to me as a tank, because I never look at Doctor Strange as tanky.
Right. Yeah. I mean, comic book wise and things like that, and yeah, he's
Right.
not Hulk. You know, he's always a range kind of DPS kind of guy in the comics. You know,
I'd
smart
almost
guy.
say that
Yeah.
he would feel like a more support. Like if you were to go like, who do you think they would be? I would have guessed support for Doctor Strange just because of all the spells that he would have like to boost people,
Right.
and give like bonuses, health, and everything like that.
Like a
But,
buffer.
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like I would imagine he'd be better as a support if I was like building a Doctor Strange character.
yeah.
Do you like
That would have been
magic,
my
you know?
first guess for it.
But yeah. I mean, take more tanks any day though.
Oh yeah,
And Doctor Strange, I like him. He's one of my most fun play. I'd say main tank. One of him and Penny maybe.
yeah. He is a fun tank to play, especially since he has that shield that he can put up. Because there's only 2 characters that have that kind of shield. It is Doctor Strange and Magneto. And Doctor Strange's actually works a lot better than Magneto's because
Yeah.
Doctor Strange can block certain ults from getting you, while Magneto's, it just goes right through the shield. So it's kind of a weird choice on that. I don't know if that's something it's supposed to be there. I guess we'll see on the first like big patch the game gets on whether that's intended or not. But I gotta believe it is, since this went through a lot of beta tests throughout the last year before it came out.
Right. It's kind of funny to me to see Luna Snow in this game. Just a little side thing about her is that Luna Snow actually debuted in a video game. She wasn't in comics first. She was in Marvel Future Fight. That's where she made her debut, and about a year later, she actually made her first debut in a comic. So
yeah, and even then, that's still very recent too.
Yeah.
It's like within the last couple of years, I believe, is when she first came about.
I think it was like 2018 or something like that. Yeah, January 2018 is when Marvel Future Fight came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just really interesting to and then like a year later, 2019 is when she came out in the comics. So I thought that was an interesting thing, and you know, if you guys haven't caught already, I haven't played the game as much as Fuzzin and Brad have, but I'm more of the comic nerd on this conversation. So
You say Marvel? What'd you call the game?
Marvel Future Fight.
Yeah. First time ever hearing that.
It's an iOS game,
Oh,
like an iOS Android game that came out.
Yeah, it was just a mobile game that I played it once before, and then that was it because it was free to play.
It's still out.
But-
It's still running. I'm just
Right. I believe there's actually I want to say there's some kind of like bonus that you can get in that game related to Marvel Rivals right now too.
I can believe it.
Probably related to Luna Snow,
Probably.
because yeah, they just announced that there was some stuff coming to collaborate with other Marvel Snap, Marvel Puzzle Quest, and Marvel Future Fight are getting brand new collaborations available on the 3rd of January.
I was just waiting for you to die on that one, Fuzzin. That was like
Right.
you were
That
you were holding
Wolverine
your own
was
for a while.
Yeah, that Wolverine was trying to get to me.
Yeah. I always just think of Jay and Silent Bob when I see Wolverine in a video game now. You know, I'm doing the Berserker Barrage.
Oh, God. I mean, that's not too far from how his gameplay is in this
Yeah.
game, too. His entire
Snick Snickety Snack
idea
Snack.
is...
Was it the Berserker Barrage?
Right. Oh, man. I'm going to have to watch that later now. But... yeah, with Wolverine, he's an interesting DPS because he's made to take out tanks. As you can see, when he does like the slash attack and everything like that, he's really good at pushing tanks out of an area because he can actually lunge and he just carries you across an area.
Yeah.
So the prime strategy with him is typically in order to get tanks that are being a problem out of the way.
Yeah, I was interested by him when, you know, pretty much putting him into a video game has got to be hard for the designers because he can't die, right? Like,
Right.
He's been more or less a skeleton before and came back. It took a lot for him to, like, drink, what do you drink, lead or adamantium or something like that?
Adamantium.
Yeah, to actually kill him or something like that. But, yeah, he... overall, Wolverine he's a monster. You know, he cannot be killed. So when you put him in a video game, like how do you dampen his
How do you
ability?
balance that?
Yeah. And I could see that being a problem also with Deadpool, whose like healing factor is even better than Wolverine's. You know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, isn't Deadpool typically like he's constantly dead and just being brought back to life all the time?
Yeah, he has the same mutant healing factor as Wolverine. They were both part of Weapon X, all that kind of fun stuff. The movies have it pretty close, where like he can get cut in half or lose a hand and stuff like that, and grow it back. he's the one thing he doesn't have, according to old comics. I don't know about modern comics. Is he never got adamantium on his skin or on his skeleton or anything like that. So he can lose an
No.
arm. He can lose half of his body and then shirt cock it.
Yeah, I believe that Wolverine is no, there's been a couple like X-23 that also got like
Adamantium.
some adamantium.
Yeah, she got the claws,
but
stuff.
not to the same level as Wolverine.
Yeah,
where
they would've died.
I believe all of his bones,
All of them, yeah.
are covered in adamantium.
Yeah, so that's why you never see him like losing an arm or losing a limb because they'd have to cut through adamantium to get to it. So.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying it's got to be interesting to put him in a video game. Like the developers are probably going, "All right, what do we do with this godlike character? How do we,
Right.
how do we do anything?" So
Yeah, he does kind of have a healing factor though, because if you look at the health bars of some of the characters, like Penny over there, where you have a little bit of the blue, that's called the shield or the overbuff of health.
okay,
And with Wolverine, whenever you're like running low, one of his abilities, you'll probably see it here in a second, is whenever he is low on health, he can bring his own shield. And
nice.
whatever of that shield is left over after a certain period rolls back into his health.
oh, good for him. Okay,
So, yeah,
That's
he
smart.
does have a little bit of a healing factor. So they did kind of incorporate that into the character a bit to
right.
give it a little bit more of a authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a creative way of doing it too.
That's really cool.
Because you couldn't just have him self-heal all the time.
Well, I mean, you could. You just slow it way down. That's the problem. Then it would be almost a worthless buff. If it's like too slow,
Right.
you would be like, people are only alive for like 30 seconds in this game. Well, if it's me, it'd be like 3 seconds. But
Right. And there you go.
did Fuzzin win?
So the way that this works is now it'll switch sides. So
okay.
he's now going to be pushing the cart, so
Okay.
to speak.
I got you.
Yeah,
And
it's a good round when they don't
complete it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I technically got 2 out of 3 points, so they got 2 out of the 3 points or checkpoints.
Mm-hmm.
They're right at the end for the third one too.
Yeah. So what Fuzzin's goal here now is to push it just beyond how far they got the cart, and then he automatically wins.
Oh,
If he
nice.
doesn't get it as far as they got
Yeah.
it, then he loses. So there's also a thing where if both teams manage to get it all the way to the point, it goes into like an overtime where instead of the typical 4 minutes for the round, you get 1 minute to just try and push it as far as you can. And then it switches to the other team. They get 1 minute to try and push it as far as they can. And then whoever got it the furthest is then the winner.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And I believe in the overtime, even if you get past a checkpoint, it doesn't add extra time. You still have to like stand on the point, which is very difficult when the other team just has to wipe you and you had to stay within a box. So the overtime gets pretty hectic, especially if you
I was
don't
about
have
to say,
somebody playing Strange.
I think we're about to TP in with Strange.
Yeah, that's
Strange is a
possible.
teleport, and we're all just about
Uh,
to hop in and sneak up behind him.
Yep, he can do a portal. There's actually a lot of fun stuff people have done with the portals, and they do actually function with the physics. That you can do like the same kind of tricks from like the Portal games.
Oh, nice.
In this, where you like drop down into a portal and then you'll shoot up if you like angle it correctly and everything.
Speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what Gladys says at the beginning of Portal 1.
I think yeah. And that those physics do carry over into this game with the portals that Stephen Strange can put up, because I've seen a lot of people do that, especially with alts that are typically pretty hard to carry out, like Scarlet Witch's alt, which has a huge load up time, and she's basically screaming that she's on her way the entire time, which makes it very
Yeah.
easy to dodge.
I'm having a
people
bad
found-
day!
What does she
Right.
say? It's like, I forget what it's like.
Unlimited power
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. And
I
it
am a
takes
god!
like 20 seconds for her to like charge up after you activate it, where you can't do anything
Oh my god.
except kind of move slightly. So people have found that with Doctor Strange's portals, you can start doing that, have him drop a portal under you, and then sling you to the enemies in perfect timing of just blasting out the entire team, and they have no idea what happened.
That's awesome. That'd be really cool.
I've gotten hit by that once before. And
right.
watching the kill cam, it's one of those times where you're like, how did they? No, you deserve that. Good job.
Good teamwork. Good teamwork.
You did it.
Yeah.
Good teamwork. I'm not even mad.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You got me.
You killed me
and
well.
the entire team. But I'm proud that you pulled that off, and I got to see it.
That's amazing. So we're
yeah.
actually in the 2099 timeline right now, right?
Yes.
That's what the board is?
In the Tokyo 2099.
Okay,
yes.
Tokyo. Okay. Yeah, because I'm kind of a fan of the 2099 series, the old one. I haven't really. I read all the Spider-Man 2099 comics, not the Doom 2099s and the new ones.
Right.
But yeah, I was always wondering where, like, when I saw the 2099, I was like, oh my god, are we going to see Miguel O'Hara? That's his name, O'Hara.
Yep.
Who is Spider-Man 2099, and his character was played by one of Fuzzin's favorite actors, I think modern actors, because we've talked about him a couple times, because he was in
Nicolas Cage?
no, Oscar Isaac. He played him in the Spider-Man
Into the Spider-Verse. Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, so not only is he Moon Knight,
Yeah.
he's also Spider-Man.
And I believe there is a rumor that he might reprise that role if he comes to live action as well.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a big push from Sony to bring some of the characters from like the Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse movies to like a live action sense. With one of them being Spider-Man Noir, played by Nick Cage. That is happening. That's coming to Amazon Prime, I believe.
Oh my god.
And
Seriously?
there's been rumor that Oscar Isaac has already been in like negotiations to play Spider-Man 2099 live action.
Honestly, I would love to see more of the 2099 stuff, and I do like the Noir comics. The Noir comics are
Yes.
great. The Wolverine ones are pretty funny. The Spider-Man ones are pretty good.
It's basically a detective.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of
Yeah.
like comic.
Yeah. The Daredevil
And
one
I think
was
that's
great.
what the show's gonna have too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the Daredevil ones. And, you know, speaking of that kind of stuff and Marvel, one thing I am really kind of happy about when it comes to the Marvel movies is that they are bringing the people who were in the TV shows as the actors for the movies also, where DC does that whole, like,
Oh yeah.
this can't be the same Flash. This has to be Flash from something else. So we can't take the same actor who played Barry Allen here. We have to take a different actor, right? Which is like, why? Why would you not ride with the person that everyone recognizes as Barry Allen already? You know, and then also if they like him, then you'll go back to the TV show and watch it, right? So.
Yeah, it was definitely a strange choice because
Yeah.
they had established the CW universe.
Right.
And they had also established the Superman or Supergirl
Yeah.
kind of stuff through I'm trying to remember what that used to be on. Like ABC. No, it wouldn't have been ABC because that was owned by Disney. It was on some channel
Yeah, I don't remember.
they had
I watched
Supergirl
it on
and
Hulu.
eventually. Yeah, it eventually came to CW when they did like the crossover and everybody liked it and they were like, we can keep doing this.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, it was weird that with especially the movies, like Zack Snyder seemed to have a very weird take on it, where it was like, well, no, that's its own thing, and I'm making something my own. And it's like, yeah, but you already have a character or somebody playing that character that's so well liked. And because I'm trying to remember his name, the guy that plays Barry Allen, Grant
Gustin?
Grant Gustin, yes. And he was already so well known for that character on the CW. Why would you look for somebody else for that kind of role, especially since nobody else on the CW was already a part of the universe. You know, it's not like there was a Superman on that you would have Henry Cavill kind of like confusing people with.
Right.
There was no Batman, you know, so Ben Affleck was fine in that. But they were like, no, we got to find a different Flash.
Yeah. Well, how many Batmans did we have just in the last couple of years? I mean, you had Ben Affleck and you had Pattinson, which I think is a great
Yep.
name for him, by the way, the Robert Pattinson. And also,
Yep.
as much as everyone gives him crap, I thought he played the good, because there's like multiple types of Batman, right? So you have like the Batman from Detective Comics, then you have Batman from the Batman comics and all that stuff. Unfortunately, you know, having different actors playing all these different Batmans gets a little confusing. Like, which one
Right.
is canon at this point? And I think that's the bigger problem. Like, Marvel had it down where they were like, since Iron Man 1, it's been the same canon, right? Like, all
Yes.
the stuff fits into the same universe. The universe crap really didn't even show up until, like,
Avengers, really.
that was different, like, timelines. You know what I mean? Like, that's when they
Oh,
started
yeah.
doing that kind of stuff. But I think the different universes, I can't think of anything, you know, comments, let me know if I'm wrong, but when they started doing stuff with Captain Marvel, I think that's when things got a little weird. Because I remember in the Marvels, right, that you see, you know, what's her name? I'm not even gonna try to remember, but
Rambo.
yeah. So you see the different people from different universes there. Plus, at the end of it, you get to see Beast, played by Frazier, at
Yep.
the end of it. You know, so oh, way to go, Fuzzin'. Good job. You matched time.
I should've won.
Yeah, they
Oh,
won
they won.
since
They
got
won
it
because they had
further.
distance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. I thought I was all excited there for you for a second. My bad.
No, you're good.
So
You're good.
yeah, so the Marvel, not I should say, Psylocke just reminded me, but not including the X-Men stuff, right? So not Fox Marvel, but Marvel, and even Sony Marvel. All of that has always been one canon, one group of people. I was so happy when I saw the guy who plays Matt Murdock in the TV show for Deadpool. Or not Deadpool, Daredevil, seeing him on there, and then seeing him in the movies playing Matt Murdock and all that stuff. I was like,
Oh, that's right. In what was that? No Way Home.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's the way you should be doing it, DC. You know, like you're losing the traction of your actors. So, yeah, I think Jessica Jones is coming back for a Marvel movie. Which
Was she confirmed to be coming back? Because I know that Punisher is confirmed. I
Yeah.
know that the Daredevil is confirmed a new series.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember because I believe that they are going to recast Danny Rand because the original actor wasn't interested in it anymore.
well, yeah, and I mean there's that,
Which
yeah.
happens. That makes sense when that kind of thing happens.
Mm-hmm. And I'm,
Why'd you think I was a fan of Oscar Isaac?
I thought you said that you liked Oscar Isaac. Like, you were like, that guy's a good guy. Like, whenever he's in a movie, it's a pretty good movie. I think you might have said something
good-
like
he's a
that to
good
me. He's
guy.
like a solid guy, like a solid movie guy. Like, we were talking about movies and said, like, oh, Oscar Isaac's in it? So, yeah, it's going to be pretty good, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you were
I don't
saying
know if that
something
was
about
me,
Dune.
But I guess that logic does,
Yeah, no.
you know, pan
we
out.
were talking about
That
Dune.
math checks.
Yeah. It was a conversation about Dune. I think that's really what it was. We said, like, oh, yeah, he's playing by Oscar Isaac. Okay, he's a solid guy. So the movie's going to be all right. Or something like that.
I knew it was gonna be all right when Denis Villeneuve.
Timothy
I don't know how to
Chalamet.
say his. No, the
Yeah,
director. The director. Denis or Denis.
Oh, I don't even know. Yeah.
Made up Blade Runner 2040. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other movies I can't think of right now. Cause I'm.
Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm trying to think. Made a lot
I'm
of-
pretty sure you got his name exactly correct. We don't need to put any corrections on that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right.
Dennis Veninen. Well, in my defense, he doesn't speak English, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Doesn't he need a translator to work with his actors? There was a movie. That's a totally side conversation. But I remember there was like
There was once a movie.
There was a movie. It was like I think it was a Jackie Chan movie. It was like a kung fu movie, and they had I don't remember if it was John Woo or something like that. Didn't speak English or something like that. Didn't speak English, so they had to bring in a translator, and the actors were complaining like that the director had such a sweet looking face, but his translator was always looking ornery. So they were like, it's so hard hearing that voice coming out of, trying to put that voice with that face. It was so it never matched, kind of thing. But they were saying that was the only real difficulty. But that's not a Marvel thing. That was a something else thing. So
Right.
He did Sicario too.
yeah,
Did you watch that?
no, I didn't.
Sicario was good.
Yeah. And then
and
Arrival.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, Arrival, and the
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
one Crew Crime movie with the dude. I loved it. I mean, I didn't love it at the time when the character lifts up the dog by the leash. That's the only thing I remember that movie. Ah, shit, what was it?
that's a quick way for me not to watch a movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
yeah.
I do not remember that at all.
Yeah, I kind of hated the movie for that part, but it was a really good movie otherwise. Jake Gyllenhaal was in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not sure on
Following a
that.
serial killer. It was about a serial killer.
he was the
That's
serial killer?
why. Not Jake Gyllenhaal, no. He was a detective.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
You think maybe Nightcrawler?
Oh, no, well,
Where
he was.
kinda acts like a serial killer.
Yeah, he kind of acts like one there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are gonna
Bring
be
it back to the positive.
yeah.
Marvel.
So I was gonna ask you guys about some Marvel stuff and see if you guys knew anything for what's coming up for this game. Do they know of any characters that are going to be released that are not in the game as of present?
Oh,
So
there are leaks.
Marvel has confirmed that the Fantastic Four will be coming to the game.
All of them?
Oh, they did confirm it.
All of them.
Oh, wow.
Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, and Thing. They did accidentally spoil some of them themselves by posting a video, and on the character select screen, you can see Human Torch, Thing, and Mr. Fantastic all in the screenshots in the video.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then following that, they came out and basically said, yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
We kind of messed up there, but
Mhm.
we're not sure when yet, but it has been confirmed that those are coming. On top of that, there have been leaks of Ultron and Blade models and information being found inside the game that those could release at any moment as well.
Right.
So, right off the bat, we have those 6 characters that very high chance that we'll see Ultron and Blade at some point soon. We'll possibly see the Fantastic Four added in the next season, just because, as I said, they were already shown in one of the videos advertising the game.
When's the movie come out?
Fantastic Four?
Yeah, you gotta time it with that, at least before.
Yeah, you would think.
That one is in July, I believe, June or July.
So, prediction before July. Before then, before whatever releases, I think they'll do that.
Yeah, because I believe in
July 25th.
February. Is it July? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, because we have Thunderbolts and the new Captain America that come beforehand. Captain America coming in February, and I think Thunderbolts is in May.
Oof, rough year.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I'm excited for Thunderbolts.
and I'm going to have Fuzzin help me with the name here because I always mess it up. Or maybe Brad can help me out. What did you guys think of Pedro Pascal being Mr. Fantastic instead of John
Krasinski.
Krasinski?
I John Krasinski, I understand as a fan pick because he looks very much like Mr. Fantastic and
And he
everything.
played Mr. Fantastic.
He did play Mr. Fantastic in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Which I honestly wish we would have gotten more of him than, especially considering he's the smartest man in Marvel Comics
Yes.
by a long shot. And in that movie, he just acts kind of arrogant.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think he was represented very well as Mr. Fantastic in that movie.
Yeah. Well, he's also supposed to
But-
be kind of upset and angry with Doctor Strange in that situation. But yeah, I see what you're
Right.
saying.
Yeah. I kind of understand what they were going for, but to me, like, watching that was like, hey, you guys kind of missed the point of who Mr. Fantastic is.
Right.
I'm excited to see Pedro Pascal play him, though.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, yes, I would have been happy with John Krasinski, but I'm also happy with Pedro. And apparently it's going to be possible for John Krasinski to come back as Mr. Fantastic in the, what is it, Secret Wars movie that's coming up.
Ooh, okay. That's
So-
always a dangerous one, but okay. I didn't even know about that one, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing with behind Secret War, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the comic event of Secret Wars and everything. I believe they're going more for the, I think it was in 2014 or 2015 comic event of Secret Wars that basically rebooted the comics entirely.
Yeah.
And with that, a big part of it is an area called Battle Worlds, which kind of collided a bunch of the universes together and gave us like all these different versions of every character. And I remember specifically one of them being the Hulk one because that was just a fun one to read because it just had all the Hulks living in like a wasteland environment that everybody was terrified of going anywhere near.
Yeah.
And-
It's there was like I'm trying to remember how many Secret Wars there's been, right? Because there was one in the 80s, and then another one in the 90s that happened.
Yep.
There was a Deadpool Secret Wars that came out in 2000 something.
Well, that one was a part of the 2015 event,
Mm-hmm.
but the joke being that it was about Deadpool in the original 1980s
Right.
Secret Wars, and just everybody forgot he was there.
Yes.
Like, that was the joke behind that one, which was a hilarious comic.
So yeah, it was I think about the mid 80s is when the Secret Wars happened. It was only 12 issues, but yeah, it was a lot of people. I mean, you had pretty much every single character in that. I mean, X-Men, the Fantastic Four. Yep.
Secret War is different from Secret Invasion or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yes, it was. But
Of course.
Yeah.
but we can get into that in a minute here because I think this is a great point for us to stop for today. And we'll keep playing a little bit and talking some more Marvel on the next episode of Bickering Nerds with Marvel Rivals.